2017 is almost over, and that means a whole year worth of movies is behind us. Some were good, some were not good at all, but some managed to still be amazing. So that raises the question, what were the best movies of 2017? Every hour leading up to midnight, I will be posting a different video, each one representing a different spot on the list, and starting at 10 and ending at 1 before midnight falls. So, that raises the question, what were the 10 best movies of 2017? Well, let's find out. Before I start the list, I'd like to give a quick honorable mention. These are movies that did not make the list, but they are still worth your time, and I recommend seeing them. Those movies are Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Logan, Thor: Ragnarok, Split, and Beauty and the Beast. They were good movies. I really enjoyed them. They just didn't make my top 10 personally. So, now that we've got that out of the way, on to number 10. My number 10 spot on this list goes to Pixar's Coco. Huh. That's 2 years in a row now where a Disney animated movie was my number 10 spot on this list. How about that? And it's on this list for a good reason. Coco is Pixar's most beautiful film. Like, the visuals in it are amazing. They've come so far since Toy Story, and it's kind of amazing to see that happening. And then we have the voice cast. They're all great. The songs in it are well performed. They have some nice choreography behind them, too. It's a really enjoyable film. It's a nice dive into Mexican culture, and Pixar does it again. Well, this is the first time they've done it for me, but the emotions. It made me cry, and it's a beautiful movie. The kids will love it. The adults will love it. The teenagers will love it. Everyone will cry. It's a beautiful film. It's a 9 out of 10 if you haven't seen it, and just go watch it. Speaking of 9, on to number 9. Number 9. The number 9 spot goes to Hitman's Bodyguard. In case you haven't heard of it, which I wouldn't be surprised, it didn't do too well at the box office, Hitman's Bodyguard was an action comedy starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. If that sentence alone doesn't sell you on this movie, I don't know what else to tell you, alright? Just go away if you don't... Go. I'll be honest, I was surprised with the chemistry Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds has, but it's amazing. It is the best part about this movie. The banter between them is perfect. The movie takes time to poke fun at Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds, like both the movies they do, the way they act. They have a joke about Samuel L. Jackson ruining the word motherfucker. It is a great movie. The comedy's amazing, the action's amazing, the characters are amazing, the actors are amazing. Go watch it. It's a 9 out of 10. If you haven't seen it by now, which I wouldn't be surprised, just go watch it. It deserves some more love. Now on to number 8. Number 8. Welcome to the Jungle! Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle takes the number 8 spot on this list. It is an amazing movie. It's an amazing sequel to a movie I didn't think needed a sequel. It pays homage to the original, it pays tribute to the original, it pays love to the original. It carries the same message as the original in a way, but it does it in a new style in its own way, and it's amazing. It doesn't feel like The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black and the girl are playing themselves playing a character. They feel like the teenagers just playing as those characters. They did an amazing job in this movie with casting, action, comedy. I couldn't count how many times I laughed during this movie. It was amazing. And I think it might be the best video game movie out there. Not adaptation, just video game movie. It pokes fun at NPCs having only one set of dialogue. It makes fun of the overly dramatic action music. It makes fun of weaknesses that make no sense. It shows love towards video games while also poking fun at it. It's a 9 out of 10. Go watch it if you haven't. It's great. And deserves number 8. Now on to number 7. In case you couldn't guess what number 7 is, it sure was a puzzle. The number 7 spot goes to Jigsaw, and wow. I did not expect to love this movie the way I do, because I have never loved a Saw movie. They're okay, they're not my style, but this is the only one that I loved and enjoyed the entire thing. I love the story. The characters are actually interesting. They're not just throwaways for traps and gore fests. They're actual characters with motives, and they're intriguing. The twists are good. The traps are inventive, and you still get the gore from a Saw movie, but that's not all there is about this movie. They actually tried. What? What? With a Saw movie? What? If you haven't seen this movie and you think it's going to be like the other Saws, go watch it. It is not. It is amazing, and I love it. Surprisingly enough, I love a Saw movie. It's a 9 out of 10. Go watch it. And now, on to number 6. Number 6 is... Life. The monster in this movie is a giant ink thingy. How am I supposed to draw that? Yeah. The number 6 spot on this list goes to Life. Now, Life is not an interpretation of the board game like some of you may be thinking. It is a monster horror movie set on an international space station up there, and it features a star-studded cast, a monster that starts from a little cell, and as it kills, it keeps growing, and every step of its evolution is more creepy and grotesque than the last. It is a great horror movie. It's creative in how they fight the monster and what the monster looks like, how the monster kills its foes. It is very creative, and it was honestly one of my favorite horror movies of this year. And the ending, ooh, damn, that was a good ending. It makes me want a sequel. That's how you do a horror movie ending. It's a 9 out of 10. Go see it if you haven't. It's so worth it. And now, the top 5. Number 5. War. War never changes. The number 5 spot on this list goes to Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan's war epic, and I have spent the past 30 minutes trying to think of how to describe Dunkirk, and the only way I can think about it is hell. This movie makes war feel like hell. It doesn't feel like, oh hey, everything's all fine. No. Characters are depressed, characters are down, they are beaten, they are defeated, and it does not feel good. But it was an amazing movie. Every actor was top notch, the action scenes were great, everything was amazingly filmed. And freaking some scenes that have no dialogue have more emotion than some movies try with over dialogue. It's amazing, and I highly recommend it. It's a 9 out of 10. If you have not watched it, go, because it is awesome. And that's all I can think about in over 30 minutes of how to describe this movie. And now number 4. Number 4. Wonder Woman! Didn't want to draw that. Wonder Woman takes the number 4 spot on this list, and it is the best superhero movie to come out this year. It's better than all the rest. It's got heart, it's got action, it has character development, it has my favorite thing, which is character moments, just characters being characters. It has some problems. Side characters that literally do nothing for the plot, and a villain that is very weak. Strength-wise they're strong, but character-wise they're very... But despite that, the rest of this movie was amazing. Freaking Gal Gadot was a perfect Wonder Woman. I doubted her in Batman vs Superman, and she proved me wrong. I cannot imagine anybody else playing Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman now. And freaking Chris Pine was a perfect counterpart. They played off each other well. It was a great movie. It's a 9 out of 10. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It was the best superhero movie this year, and I can't wait to see Wonder Woman 2. And now, the final 3. Number 3, John Wick 2. If you heard me talk about the first John Wick, you know it's my favorite action movie, and this one is just as good, if not better, in certain aspects. They pick up the action, they pick up the story, they involve more characters, they expand the world. Yes! Yes! This is how you do a sequel. You don't fuck it up. John Wick Chapter 2 does everything a good sequel should do. It expands on the world, it expands on the lore, it expands on the characters that already exist, it adds new and interesting characters that just feel like they belong in this world. They don't feel like just they're shoved in there for a cameo. They feel like actual characters that belong in that world. And then we get to the action. The action in this movie is just as good, if not better, than the first movie. Freaking, I loved watching him throw an empty gun at someone since it was out of ammo. It was perfect. It's a 9 out of 10 movie. Go watch it if you haven't. It's a brilliant action movie. It's my favorite, tied with the first one. Now on to number 2. Number 2. Monkeys on horses with guns! War for the Planet of the Apes takes the number 2 spot, and it is so deserving of it. For those of you that don't know, War is the 3rd movie in the Planet of the Apes reboot trilogy. And it's so beautiful. Every movie in this franchise just got better and better. War is the perfect example of how a trilogy should end. You finish character arcs, you finish the stories, you wrap everything up. Characters should go somewhere. And people are going to see apes on horses with guns, and they're going to think it's some mindless action movie, but it is not. It is a beautiful movie. The special effects are stunning. There are some scenes where they actually use real apes, and you cannot tell the difference between them. That's how good the special effects are. This movie is a 10 out of 10. You need to see the other 2 and this one. And now, number 1. Ladies and gents, this is the moment you waited for. The number 1 movie of 2017. Got No time to waste, so let's get through this. The best movie of 2017 was The Greatest Showman. If you have talked to me about this movie since its release, or if you saw my last review, you already know what I think about this movie. I love the cast, I love the acting, I love the direction, I love the choreography, I love the songs, I love everything about this movie. I don't think there's a single thing I can find a fault within this movie. So go watch this movie. To me, it is the best movie of 2017 without a doubt. It is a 10 out of 10 for me, and if you have not seen it, go watch it. You need to. It is just, I love this movie. And with all that said and done, I wish you all a Happy New Year.
And I got this soda, Remy boys that know it. Fast money don't slow, no one can control. Yeah, and I got this soda, Remy boys that know it. Yeah, fast money don't slow, but no one can control. Yeah, yeah, yeah.